KWT slaying.
Well, family, the wait is over. The moment has arrived where truth emerges triumphant from the shadows of history. Introducing the True Jerusalem, the lost kingdoms of the Israelites, the groundbreaking work by me, Jacoby Vale, a journey into the past that reshapes the future. I cut through centuries of misconceptions with piercing clarity. This book delivers a compelling case packed with evidence that commands attention and gonna get some respect. Come with me for a second, family, and discover how these thrilling civilizations flourished, protected by towering highlands and sustained by advanced engineering. Some have asked, where is Jerusalem? Is it the land in the Middle East? I say no. It is in the highlands of Ethiopia. With hours of groundbreaking research, this book brings in a new revelation, and it will transform your understanding of African history and its connections to the ancient world. It's going to remove from your mind the conditioning by the Romans of what has really happened to our past. Come with me, family, to the Ethiopian highlands and find out why this is our land. Why things have been hidden and obfuscated for centuries. We are royalty, children of the Most High. What kind of land do you expect us to have? Dried up dirt in the Middle East, or land flowing with rivers? A land full of beautiful animals flowing with milk and honey. Don't miss out on this monumental unveiling. Grab your copy today and stand on the side of truth. Visit Amazon.com or www.tailministries.com to purchase your book and join Jacoby Vale's teachings on Tail Ministries. Family, your journey to hidden history has now begun. So family, get your copy of True Jerusalem, the Lost Kingdoms of the Israelites today. Journey to the heart of Africa, where history and legend converge to reveal the forgotten kingdoms of the Israelites and the true location of Jerusalem. Shalom, my family. Shalom, how y'all doing today? Hope you're blessed and highly favored. So, before we get started, there's something that I want to do. And what is that, Yakoba? What I want to do is, before I... Hold on one sec. All right, so just to let y'all know, okay, we've been doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes, but before I talk about that, I just want to, share this little clip with y'all that I made just for fun. I know I'm gonna get on some people's nerves with it, but I like it. Flee Babylon, y'all. Flee. I'm just having fun. Y'all ready to go? I put that together. I use Sora. Sora just came out. That was pretty sweet. You know what I'm saying? So I put that little piece together. So to be real, let's get real. All right. So Tail Ministry's been doing a lot of behind the scenes stuff. Trying to reconcile with people, right? So We had a meeting with Sister Shonda, Brother Lorvins, and Brother Ron Dalton. All right. Trying to smooth out the waters. So, in the spirit of reconciliation, we're going to clarify something that we said during the time, about 2 videos ago. I mentioned that, Ron had attacked us, and it came across like he attacked us during the time of the Kyrie Irving incident. And it was not during that time that he attacked us. It was really April of this year that occurred. So he wanted us to clarify that he did not attack us during the Kyrie Irving incident. Okay, we just wanted to let you know that the time he attacked us was earlier this year in April. But we're not holding no grudges. We're trying to reconcile. So we're adhering to our part of the bargain, right? That we would clarify that he did not attack us during the time of the Kyrie Irving incident. Okay. So we want to make that clear. And also, just to let y'all know, I mean, we don't really have a problem with Ron. As a matter of fact, we agree with a lot of stuff that Ron teaches. Okay. So there are some things we disagree with, and we got to work through those. But, we agree on a lot of things. So, just to let y'all know, we're not hating on him at all. We're trying to reconcile. So this is our means of reconciliation. All right. The beginning of, right. All right. So we're going to talk about captives, because today we're still captives. And some people believe that, America's our homeland, and some people believe Israel is here and Egypt is here. And there's a lot of gaslighting going on. Now, I want to say shout out to Brother Karras, because Brother Karras showed this video this morning, and I want to share it before I do my teaching. So I was going to do this particular teaching I'm doing today. I was working on it before that video, but I was like, hey, that might be worth showing, because there's a lot of lies that going around. People who claim to be Israelites telling lies and half truths. People who calling people names and stuff. So people saying that this is the land and we were never slaves and stuff like that, right? All that stuff. And we think a lot of people who deny the fact that we were brought here on ships is a psyop, right? That's what we believe. And a lot of the people look like us who's saying it, right? But I want to share this video because I think it was, well done. And this is from a Gentile who said this. This not a Israelite, right? So let me pull this up right quick. I got a whole bunch of videos up. All right. I mean, not videos, but a whole bunch of tabs up that I need to close. All right. So let's do this.
Hey folks, where are the ships? What ships, you might ask? The ships that transported tens of millions of people stolen from Africa for a life sentence of intergenerational enslavement, brutality, oppression, and horror in the Americas. Hi, I'm Tad Sturmer. I teach public history at Johns Hopkins University, and I'm the film and digital media editor of The Public Historian. So let's take a look at some comments on my recent post about the transatlantic slave trade database, a wonderful resource, slavevoyages.org, that includes an exhaustive level of primary source evidence about the slave trade, and more to the point, it reveals so much about the people who are involved with it, both the enslavers, but more to the point, the people who were stolen from Africa. We have this one, and then there's this one, and then there's this one. Now, given the work we have to do fighting the bad guys, those sorts of copy and paste patterns by human bots raises our spidey senses, that we've got to kind of be on top of what's going on in digital media to derail an honest approach to history, just understanding the basic facts of what happened, because there are actors out there who don't want you to know, whose agenda is dependent upon you not understanding honest history and where it comes from, even the most documented form. So we went looking for the ships, and we found them. And they're right there in the harbor of pseudo-history, docked alongside anti-vax conspiracies, flat earth theories, and the idea that aliens are responsible for everything. Right there.
I am flat earth, by the way, but disregard that part.
Alongside it. The question isn't harmless. Those of us who care about making sure that we have the tools to be able to identify fact from fiction, to be able to understand the truth that in fact binds us together. It's not a harmless question when you just slide in, what about the ships? This is a calculated tool, a tactical one, used by fatuous history deniers like Dane Calloway to undermine historical truth and rewrite history for clicks and chaos, preferring a free-flowing fantasy land that they call history and conveniently and quickly twist on a dime to suit their agendas. Here's the reality. The transatlantic slave trade is among the most documented atrocities in human history. This is the crimes of the centuries. We have detailed records by the perpetrators, because there's money involved and you can always follow the money. We have detailed records of nearly 36,000 voyages. We know the names of the ships, their captains, their owners, their cargoes, human beings, and all of their ports of call. We know where they came from. We know where they went to. We know where they went back to. We can map them all out. What we don't have are ships sitting preserved like museum artifacts, because 19th century wooden ships weren't built to last centuries, folks. Do you know how many ships of the United States Navy that still exist from the same period? 2. The legendary USS Constitution from the early Republic, currently berthed in Charleston, Massachusetts, and the not-so-well-known USS Constellation, near and dear to my heart, berthed in my hometown of Baltimore. 2. So let's actually be clear about this. Calloway isn't asking, where are the ships? His grift is built on questions that sound profound, but crumble even under a passing glance at evidence. Like his pseudo-intellectual bedfellow Graham Hancock, he exploits what seems to be gaps in public understanding, not in the record, but in public understanding, in the public history, to sow doubt, to confuse the conversation, and erase the voices of those who enjoyed one of history's greatest crimes and who are still dealing with the legacy of that. This is not about curiosity. This is not about just starting a conversation. It's about control and keeping you off balance. What deniers like Calloway fear isn't the abuse of evidence, but the overwhelming weight of it. They're afraid of databases like Slave Voyages and organizations like Diving with a Purpose, go check them out, which uncover truths they can't refute. History, as we know it, is absolutely against them. We stack the deck with receipts. But instead, they play the game of just asking questions, hoping that you won't look deeper. Where are the ships? They're in the records. They're in the wreckage found by underwater archaeologists, like the Clotilda in Alabama. They're in the stories of the enslaved people who endured the Middle Passage. That Calloway can't see them isn't because he's not looking. It's because he doesn't care. He doesn't want to look. The truth doesn't get him clicks. So what's worse is that he doesn't want you to look either. So every time you see, where are the ships in the comments, recognize it for what it is. A dog whistle. Well, no. They don't do dog whistles anymore, do they? It's a bullhorn for denying the brutal scope of slavery and its ongoing legacy. That's systemic and it's traumatic. And his whole job and those of his deeply disturbed allies is a deliberate attempt to obscure, to distort, to ignore the truth. We owe it to the millions of people who lived this history not to let pseudo historians hijack their story for clout. Calloway's work isn't history, it's cynical fiction designed to confuse. It's fan fiction for the bad guys. He doesn't care about the receipts. The bigger question then to ask isn't where are the ships, but why do you refuse to see them when all of the rest of us do?
I thought that was a very good video. Why do you refuse to see them when all the rest of us do? I'm going to tell you why. Because there's an agenda. There's an agenda to hide our captivity. There's an agenda to deny that we're the true Israelites of the Bible. This agenda is created so that, once again, it causes what? Division, and it causes confusion. So the same thing happens with Native American Indians and Mexicans and all that foolishness, right? There's an agenda to hide the truth. Satan he's not playing, right? And we see that even within the Israelite community, there's people who tell lies. And some of y'all don't even do your investigation. Y'all believe whatever anybody says. And we told y'all from day one that, Calloway was a liar. I'm sure those who do any modicum of research know this already. Because, you can't hide something as big as the transatlantic slave trade. It's impossible. It's literally impossible. But there's an agenda afoot, right? They will gaslight you. They will tell half-truths. They will say things like, where's the ships? Where's the ships? Oh, they're teaching skin doctrine. Why? Because what happens is, and I'm going to tell you, the awakening cannot be stopped. Oh, no. More and more each day, the awakening grows and speeds up. The undeniable truths are being revealed. As I mentioned in one of my previous shows, my brother coming out with his history book. You're going to find out the stuff they didn't want to tell you. We already know that they knew who we were. But it's all documented. We're going to get into details when my brother's book come out, because it's going to be interesting. Let me tell you that. But one thing we don't understand, because we grew up and we were born in prison, I hope you know that, right? We were born in prison. It's just that you have a very, 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 very long chain. You can go on vacation sometimes. You can travel here. You can travel there. As a matter of fact, you can own a house. You can own a nice car. But you can't rule yourself. You can't pass laws to protect yourself. The popo pew you in the streets. There's nothing done. They put your children in prison houses. School to prison pipelines. But you think you're free. But your captives. Don't let anybody tell you different. You're a captive. You might be a physicist. You might be a doctor. You might be a lawyer. You might be a school teacher. You could be any profession, but you still held captive. Slaves, Neo, you're a slave. Deuteronomy 28:68, and Yahuwah shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. You can't hide the transatlantic slave trade. See, Dan Calloway is working for them folks. Some of the camps be working for them folks. Some of your favorite YouTube people be working for them folks. We warned y'all about about Calloway. And we warned y'all about other people, but guess what? Some people got to learn the hard way. It's sort of like what we said. And don't take this the wrong way, my sisters. But when your friend tells you that guy's no good, and you be like, but I like him anyway, and you date him, and then you find out he really was no good, but people didn't warn you. Your brothers warned you, your uncles warned you, your daddy warned you, but you dated him anyway, then you found out he's no good. Same thing. Oh yeah, they've been warned, Turbo Beats, but they're going to have to find out the hard way. Deuteronomy 28:41, thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity. Our ancestors went into captivity, and we never came out. They told us we were free, except for prison, convicted of a crime. But they didn't tell you the whole truth there either, because your vote don't matter. So therefore the laws don't protect you. Oh, I'm an American citizen. I hear a lot of people, Negroes, black folks, African Americans, true Israelites, say, I'm an American citizen. I'm foundational black America. You ain't got no rights. You ain't no citizen. You think you are. See, you've been gaslighted for 400 years now. Don't get it twisted. Jubilees, chapter 1. And they will forget my law, which we did, and all my commandments, which we did, and all my judgments, and will go astray as to new moons. When's the Sabbath day? When are the feast days? When are the holy days? And will go astray as to new moons and Sabbaths and festivals and jubilees and ordinances. We don't know nothing no more. But they believe people like Dan Calloway. And after this, they will turn to me from amongst the Gentiles with all their heart and with all their soul and with all their strength. And I will gather them from amongst the Gentiles, and they will seek me. So where are we amongst the Gentiles? Where? In the land of our captivity, which means what? We're slaves. In the land of their captivity, they shall what? Remember themselves. So that I shall be found of them when they seek me with all their heart and with all their soul. I will disclose to them abounding peace with righteousness, and I will remove them the plant of uprightness with all my heart and with all my soul, and they shall be for a blessing and not for a curse. So we're going to be blessed and not cursed. We still curse. Why? Because we're in the land of our captivity, which is why there's a second Exodus, which is why we got to leave. Duh. and they shall be the head and not the tail. So the first shall be last, and the last shall be first. Who? Those who went into captivity. They're going to be blessed instead of cursed. Who? Those who went into captivity. They're going to be the head and not the tail. Who? Those who went into captivity, who were last. And I will build my sanctuary in their midst, and I will dwell with them, and I will be their Elohim, and they shall be my people in truth and righteousness. I dare anyone come and try to prove that we're not the people. You can't. I keep telling y'all that. We the people, and you can't prove we're not. Go watch that video. We the people, and you can't prove we're not. Now, Yacoba, that's a gathering. Yeah, that's what they say now, right? They say it's a gathering. It's not the second Exodus. Tomato, tomato, potato, potato. Let's call the whole thing off. Just like Dan Calloway was gaslighting people, they're gaslighting people when they say there's no second Exodus. Foolishness. Foolishness. After 70 AD, Luke 21:24, and they shall fall by the edge of the sword and shall be led away captive into all nations, and Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. Let me read this to you a different way, because I've read it this way before, and it makes sense, and it sticks in all lines with Torah. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword. Who? The Israelites. The Israelites shall fall by the edge of the sword and shall be led away captive into all nations in alignment with Deuteronomy 28. And Jerusalem, can we stop there for a second? And replace Jerusalem with the word Israel or Israelites. And the Israelites shall be trodden down or oppressed of the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. So we're going to be oppressed, which means we still held captive by our enemy until the times of the Gentiles come to an end. And we're at that time, in my opinion. Hashtag, ain't no 400-year prophecy. So to the Greeks, Joel 3:6-7, the children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem, can we say Israelites? Have ye sold unto the Grecians that ye might remove them, what? Far from their border. Behold, I will raise them out of the place whither ye have sold them, what? The land of your captivity. And I will return your recompense upon your own head. So once again, the Most High has to come and get us out of the land of our captivity where we were sold. Why? Because we're still slaves, Neo. Black folks who haven't awakened yet, you're still slave. Kemet black folks, African Americans, you're still slaves, Neo. You think you free because you got a little money, but you don't rule yourself. The laws don't protect you. You're still a slave, Neo. Israel serve enemies, Deuteronomy 28:48. Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies which Yahuwah shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. Why? Because you went into captivity. The Bible is about the Israelites. The Bible is a black book. The Bible is about you Negroes. The Bible is about you descendants of slaves. The Bible is about you foundational black Americans. I heard one guy say, stop telling me about Hebrews. We ain't no Hebrew. We Africans. Stop telling me about Hebrews. We ain't no Hebrews. We Africans. Duh. Hebrews are Africans. Not all Africans are Hebrews. Come on now. Not utterly destroy, Leviticus 26:44. And yet for all that, when they be in the land of their enemies. So where are we? Where are we, family? Come on now, tell me where we're at, family. You know where we're at. I just read it. And yet for all that, when they be in the land of their enemies, I will not cast them away, neither will I abhor them to destroy them utterly and to break my covenant with them. For I am Yahuwah, their Elohim. Where we at, family? Come on now. We still in the land of our enemies, right? If we're in the land of our enemies, then guess what? We're captives. Come on now. We're not free. We don't rule over ourselves. We don't make our own laws. How many people out there in Washington represent your cause? Come on now. Oh, we finally got a black speaker of the House. Yeah, like he gonna do something for you. He ain't in there yet anyway, though. That's what they say they're gonna put. But we're in the land of our enemies. You're still a slave, Neo. Don't let nobody tell you you're not held captive just because you got money and you can fly and you get some of the perks of Babylon. They control you. And they control your people. They control your ability to get wealth. They control your ability of where you want to live. And what happens? Israel is put into prison houses. Come on now. That's why one of the good news items in Isaiah 61 is that the prisoners are going to be set free. The prisoners, those who were put in prison houses, going to be set free. Why? Because you're a slave. Don't get it twisted. Just because you got high-tech computers and monitors and got yourself a Tesla, you don't rule over yourself. Why? Who you paying taxes to? Who can't you speak about? You don't rule over yourself. As a matter of fact, most black folk don't even know who they are. I'm an American. I'm a black man. No, you're an Israelite. But some of y'all don't want to believe that. Some of y'all want to be Kemet. Some of y'all want to be Hamites. You want to be anything but what the Bible say you are. But guess what? Some of y'all don't believe the Bible. That's what it is. I told y'all that. I've come to the conclusion. Some of y'all just don't believe that Bible. That's why you can believe in the gathering and I believe in the second Exodus, because you don't believe the Bible. Period. With a T. Israel rejected 2 Kings 17:20, and Yahuwah rejected all the seed of Israel and afflicted them and delivered them into the hand of spoilers until he had cast them out of his sight. Where you at? That's why the Most High got to get us out of here, because so long as you're in their land, far from your borders, as Joel 3 says, you are a slave. Oh, but I got money. Oh, I have a nice house. No, you don't have self-determination, do you? You're a slave. Who you paying your money to in taxes? Over 50%, really. They tell you 40-something%, but it's really over 50%. Who you paying your money to? You a slave. Who controls the financial systems? Who controls you getting a house? You a slave. Now you got people like Billy Carson saying that Yeshua was a Freemason. No, he wasn't. Maybe that Greekified version is. Maybe the white version is. Maybe the Catholic version is. Maybe the Christian version is. But the Yeshua of the Bible, not a Freemason. I told you, soon as you awaken, and even before you awaken, there's traps at every door. See, I told you before that Tell Ministries is a truth ministry, and we're going to tell the truth. We've been investigating some other stuff, and we're going to tell the truth. There's certain people in ministries that we've been talking to, and we're going to tell the truth. Some of y'all been hating on people who are innocent, but we're going to tell the truth. We got the evidence. Don't get it twisted. Read between the lines. Reign over Israel, Leviticus 26:17. And I will set my face against you, and ye shall be slain before your enemies. They that hate you shall reign over you, and ye shall flee when none pursue. So they reign over us. The fact that your enemies rule over you with their laws and their land shows you are still a slave, Neo. Well, Yacoba, you know, I don't mind being a slave in America. I have a nice house. I have 10 cars. I got millions of dollars in the bank. I don't mind being a slave in America. If this what a slave is, Yacoba, I'm good. I'll stay a slave. That's the sellouts. Because they got it good. They don't care about you having it good. Because they got a nice car and nice clothes and a nice house. They don't care if you have a nice clothes and a nice car and a nice house. Because their kids go to nice schools, they don't care about your kids going to nice schools. They still slaves. They just live in master's house. They still slaves, but they get to eat butter biscuits while you have to eat chitlins. Praise white Jesus. Uncle Ruckuses. And that's what they do, right? They worship a Jesus that is not Yeshua. The Jesus of Christianity is not Yeshua of the Bible. Oh, I know it took a long time for me to get there too. It took a long time for me to separate it too. Christianity is one hell of a drug. Because you knew the Bible was true. You knew the word was true. You can't deny them words. He must be of God. Nobody speaks like this. If you have the spirit of the Most High, if you want truth and you seeking the Most High, you know the word is true. Oh, well, the Bible was written by white folks, translated by them. I'm going to tell you this, though. Though there may be some errors in the translations, the message is legit. You know why I know the message is legit? Well, one, the Spirit bear witness that it's legit. But you know, if them white folks wrote that Bible, there wouldn't be nothing about slaves. There would be nothing about Yahuwah coming to destroy the nations for what they did to his people, selling a boy for wine, or selling a girl for wine and making the boy a harlot. There wouldn't be nothing in there about Israel going into captivity to the four corners if them white folks wrote the Bible. Come on now. You wouldn't have the fact that they're going into captivity in the Bible if white folks wrote the Bible. Come on. It's common sense. For all you Kemet folks, all you Moorish folks, all you atheists, all you agnostics. There wouldn't be any mention of Yahuwah coming back and destroying those who destroyed his people. Depart from me, you workers of iniquity. I never knew you. Well, Lord, didn't we do many wonderful works in your name, and your names cast out devils, and in your name? How come you mad at us? Because what you did to my people. What you did to my people, you didn't visit them when you put them in the prison houses. You didn't feed them when they were on the street and hungry. The Bible's about us. And I dare a Christian to say otherwise. I dare them folks say otherwise. The problem is you don't know the Bible. What you do know is Christianity. See, some of y'all got an issue with what Truth Unedited is saying. Now, I don't agree with everything Truth says, Truth Unedited, because I believe Yeshua is God in human flesh. But one thing Truth Unedited did say that I agree with is that we the people and y'all in trouble. I'm talking about you Gentiles. That we the people that if you don't repent, if you don't restore us, judgment coming on your head. I agree with that. See, y'all be reading and studying from a Christian perspective and not from the scriptures themselves. I was over there reading some of the comments on the Truth Unedited videos. Oh, well, Truth, I unsubscribed from you, Truth. You're teaching race. They like to go there. How come Truth Unedited? You don't teach Jesus and salvation. They like to go there. Because he didn't move from the milk to the meat. But they like to suck on the bottle. Goo goo and gaga. Hand of heathen, Psalms 106:41. And he gave them into the hand of the heathen, and they that hated them ruled over them. We're still slaves. You want to know when we're going to be free? They didn't make you free. Why? Because you were set into captivity for the sins of your ancestors. They can't set you free. Only the Most High can set you free. They said they created a 14th Amendment to give you freedom. They did not. You're being ruled over. Come on now, family. Yes or no? Give me a 1 if yes. Give me a 2 if no. Are we black folks? Are we African Americans? Whatever you want to call us Hebrew Israelites? Are we not in the land of our captivity and being ruled over by our enemy? Yes or no? Yes or no? 1 or 2. Are we not being ruled over by our enemies? That means you're a slave, Neo. They didn't gaslighted us for 400 years. Oh, mommy, daddy, when I grow up, I'm going to be the president of the United States. Oh, mommy and daddy, when I grow up, I'm going to be a congressman. Very few of you can attain such things. And you best have the Freemasonic handshake if you ever think you're going to get in those positions of power. See, we are called apart, set apart. We are his chosen. We are his saints. We are set apart for the work of Yahuwah, which is why they don't like us. And they know the day that we are set free, the curses fall on them. They know this. Which is why they don't want you to wake up, which is why they buy off some of our people like Dan Calloway. Because the longer you're ignorant and you don't know who you are, the longer we stay under their control. They rule over us. The longer you think you a Christian and not a follower of Yahusha, and you following Christian doctrine and Christian holidays, and I'm not the one who's accusing you of anything. I just believe that Christmas is pagan. Yeah, Dane Calloway, thank you very much. I just believe Christmas is pagan. I believe Easter is pagan. I don't fault you for it because the Most High extends grace for your ignorance. But because you're still in the land of your captivity, which other people don't want you to know that you are still in the land of your captivity, you still don't have self-determination. They make the laws. You have no rights. They walk into your house and pew pew you and get off scot-free. If you had the right to self-determination, I guess a lot of them would be in jail right now, would they? But you don't have no rights. See, that's the deception that you are walking in. You still a slave, Neo. But some of y'all are cipher. Some of y'all selling out your people because you want to be able to eat that steak in an artificial world. Some of y'all want the comforts of life in an artificial world. Some of y'all like the nice house and the AI and the computers and the AC, but you're living in the artificial world. A world created around you based upon the structure and the pillars of their laws. Which is why anytime a potential black messiah figure came up here, they come with quote Intel Pro. Delete, delete, pew, pew. Don't get it twisted. We're all still held captive. Oh, but I get to marry Becky. You're still a slave, but you're allowed to marry Becky. Oh, I get to marry Bob. You're still a slave, but you get to marry Bob. See, that's one thing Candace don't get. You're still a slave, Candace. You just got a longer chain and a few more benefits. But you're still destroying your heritage and your people and your next generation. I'm not hating. I understand. I'm not hating. But I know what they did to us. And I understand that when you marry them, you don't care about us. When you marry them, your kids don't want to be us. When you marry them, your kids are torn. When you marry them, you don't care about Africa. You care about America because you're an American. Y'all displeased with the heathen, Zechariah 1:15, and I am very so displeased with the heathen that are at ease. For I was but a little displeased, and they helped forward the affliction. So the Most High said, look, you Gentiles took it too far. Yeah, I sent my children into captivity worldwide to the four corners, because that's what the Bible about, you know. Oh, you teach skin doctrine, Yacoba. No, the Bible teaches slavery. The Bible teaches that Israel would be enslaved to the four corners of the world, and that you all would abuse us and murk us and steal from us, and we would have no rest day and night. You would do all these evils to us and make us eat lollipops. You would do like Pharaoh and try to take out the males. And some of y'all be like, can't we just get along? No, we cannot. See, that ain't Christian. No, it is not. Because we're not Christian. We're followers of Yahuwah. The Bible says that you got to restore us. The Bible says you need to ask for forgiveness and restore us. Can we say reparations? Y'all don't want to hear that, though. Oh, that's in the past. I had nothing to do with it. Fine then. Fine then. Don't pay us. Don't give us reparations. But you see what's happening in this nation, right? How do you like them drones? How do you like the orbs that nobody know where they're coming from? I don't know what they are. How do you like the potential destruction by nukes from Russia and the West? How do you like all of the earthquakes and the floods and the tornadoes? The seas and the waves warring. How do you like all of these things, but hashtag ain't no 400-year prophecy? How do you like the fact that your waters are drying up here in Babylon? How do you like that? It's called droughts. How do you like the fact that probably in 2025, everything's about to shut down? How do you like that? You're going to be looking for some food and some clean water. And it's all going to be blamed on somebody else. Because you're being brought into a new system. How you going to like it when your dollar is worthless and you're going to throw your gold into the streets? How do you like that? Hashtag ain't no 400-year prophecy. How do you like the fact that a lot of people ain't here no more? Because of what happened over the last 4 years. Hashtag ain't no 400-year prophecy. But you think we're going to stay here. You think we're going to be gathered here. You think there's no second Exodus. But you in the land of your enemy. How you getting out then? You going to stay here and take over like they say? This is our land. I'm not going nowhere. I'm an Indian. Well, you stay here then because I'm an Israelite. I'm out. How they rule over you today. Proverbs 22:7. The rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender. How do they rule over you today, Israel? They're rich. You ain't. Come on now, repeat after me, family. They're rich and you ain't. How do they rule over you today, family? They're rich and you ain't. So you got to borrow. The borrower is servant to the lender. Can we say slaves? I told you got a long chain. They're rich and you ain't. So you got to borrow and get in debt, and you can't get that weight off your back. But they allow some of you all to come into the house so you can eat your butter biscuits because you didn't told on your people who trying to escape. Oh, yeah. You done went to Massa and said, Massa, you know them folks out there working in the fields? They plotting an escape. Well, you know what, Ruckus? Go out there. We're going to put you in the field for a little bit. You know, you're going to have to work next to them for a little while. And let us know, Ruckus, when they plan on running, and we'll be waiting for them. Sure, Massa. Then you could come back and live in the house again. That's why you got people attacking people on the continent who trying to get y'all there. Telling lies. Literally lies. People who doing the work on the continent trying to help you move over there. Telling lies. Oh, well, there's so many people saying they did this and they did that. I told y'all, I don't care if it's 100 people saying somebody did something. Where's the proof? Lies. Can I say lies? Some of y'all be attacking your brothers and sisters who doing the work and trying to help y'all. Can we say lies? Oh yeah, we got people telling lies on their own. We got people literally telling lies on people. I'm gonna tell you this. The worst mistake you ever did or could do was bring us in. Because we're a truth ministry. We're gonna expose lies. And people like to gaslight, and tell lies on people, literally lies on people. And because you don't have the details, you believe it. You believe it because they say I've been harmed. Oh, woe is me, I've been harmed. Where's the proof? Lie. Read between the lines. No usury for Israelite. Exodus 22:25. If thou lend money to any of my people that is poor by thee, thou shalt not be to him as a usurer, neither shalt thou lay upon him usury. So if you got money and you lend it to the Israelites, you can't charge them interest. Leviticus 25:35-37. And if thy brother be waxing poor and fallen in decay with thee, then thou shalt relieve him, yea, though he be a stranger or a sojourner, that he may live with thee. Take thou no usury of him or increase, but fear Yahuwah, that thy brother may live with thee. I told you we treat Israel different. Israel is family. We don't charge interest to family. And we definitely don't lie on family. There's some Israelites who are just evil. Evil. They can say they love Yahuwah all they want. They evil. That makes you a slave. Deuteronomy 28:12. And Yahuwah shall open unto thee his good treasure, the heaven, to give the rain unto thy land in his season, and to bless all the work of thine hand, and thou shalt lend unto many nations, and thou shalt not borrow. So how do you know you're free? You're the lender, not the borrower. How do you know you're free? You have self-determination over you and your people. You have self-determination over your family. Deuteronomy 28:44, he shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. So when you're the tail, they're lending to you. When you're the tail, they got the money. They're rich, and you're not. They rule over you. They're rich, and you're not. You want to know when you're going to be set free? When you out of this land. You want to know when you're really going to be free? When you back on the continent. You want to know when you're really going to be free? When you have self-determination. You want to know when you're going to be free? When you put somebody over you who looks like you, who's an Israelite. Did not the Bible say, don't put anybody over you, no king, no ruler over you, except one of your own tribe? Therefore, you still ruled by them. You're a slave, Neil. Israelites should be merciful. Matthew 5:42. Give to him that asketh thee, and from him that will borrow of thee, and turn not down. Oh, wait. This is talking about family. Because we all slaves and we need to support each other and help each other, not lie on people. Oh, the lies that have gone out, and so many attaching themselves together who claim to be Israel, and y'all are freaking liars, and I'm calling you out. You a freaking liar. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Liars. Pharaoh will not let you go. Exodus 5:1-2. And afterward, Moses and Aaron went in and told Pharaoh, thus says Yahuwah, let my people go that they may hold a feast unto me in the wilderness. And Pharaoh said, who is Yahuwah that I should obey his voice to let Israel go? I know not Yahuwah, neither will I let Israel go. They don't know him, and they're not going to let you go. You must leave and go into the wilderness to serve your God. You cannot be in the land of your captivity and consider yourself free. You are not free. You do not have self-determination. You do not get to choose the laws that rule over you. You are still a slave, Neo. Don't get it twisted. The biggest gaslighting in the world was the 14th Amendment. Oh, we're free, we're free, we're free. And when you started building some towns and cities, they went and bulldozed those. When you started building towns and cities, they put them under lakes. When you went and built towns and cities, they blew them up from the sky. Don't sound like you free to me. Exodus 7:14. Yahuwah said to Moses, Pharaoh's heart is hardened. He refuses to let the people go. This nation's heart is hardened. The Western powers' hearts are hardened. They're not going to let you go. We're not getting out of here without a fight. Why did you think the Most High said, I'm coming to get you out with fury poured out and an outstretched arm? He got to break some bones. The Most High got to take the chains off our necks. The Most High has to deal with our enemies, Joel chapter 3. No man shall save you, Deuteronomy 28:29. And thou shalt grope at noonday, as the blind gropeth in darkness. And thou shalt not prosper in thy ways, and thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee. No man gonna save us. Only Yahuwah. If there's no second Exodus, if you don't leave the land of your captivity, you're going to continue to be slaves. Perpetual slaves, just as the Catholic Church said you were going to be. You will never rise up in the land of your captivity. You will never have self-determination in the land of your captivity. You will never be free in the land of your captivity. You have to leave. Thus, the second Exodus. Yah will deliver us again. Isaiah 42:7. To open the blind eyes, to bring out the prisoners from the prison, and them that sit in darkness out of the prison house. In order to be free, you got to leave the prison. We've been born into a prison. We are the children of prisoners. And all those blind, sleeping Negro Christians and Negro Muslims who think they're free are sorely deceived. As a matter of fact, they're trying to make sure they don't have to keep you captive no more, if you know what I'm saying. They're trying to make sure they don't have to feed you no more because they don't need you no more. Don't get it twisted. Without a second Exodus, you're still a slave, Neil. And when master decide no more food for you and no more light and no more shelter, good luck. Jeremiah 50:33-34. Thus says Yahuwah, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captives, can we say slaves, held them fast. They refused to let them go. Can we say Pharaoh refused to let us go? Their Redeemer is strong. The only one who could get us out of this. Yahuwah is his name. He shall thoroughly plead their cause, that they may give rest to the land and disquiet the inhabitants of Babylon. I told you. When we leave, it ain't going to be nothing nice, because guess what? We're going to look like our ancestors handling business. Because they don't want to let you go. They refuse to let you go. See, now that you're waking up, they're hiring people. They're hiring people like Dan Calloway. They're hiring people like Billy Carson to deceive you. Because no man gonna deliver you. Only the Redeemer, Yahuwah himself. Can we say Yeshua, who is God in human flesh? Yahuwah in human flesh? I know some of y'all don't think that's the case. Oh, well, he's the son of God. He's not God. No, he is God in human flesh. Read your Bible. Yah's Ezekiel 20:33-34. As I live, said Yahuwah, surely with a mighty hand and with a stretched out arm and with fury poured out will I rule over you, and I will bring you out from the people. Can we say nations? I will bring you out from the nations and will gather you out of the countries wherein you are scattered with a mighty hand and with an outstretched arm and with fury poured out. In other words, I'm coming with my army and we're going to fight. They don't want to let you go. You still a slave. You don't even know it. They didn't have to put the chains on you anymore because they put the chains on your mind. Because the chains are long and you get to travel where you want to, and you get to go visit and go on vacations, and you get to eat at the fine restaurants. Guess what? You still don't have self-determination. You still a slave, Neo. That's why the Most High says, I'm going to bring you out of the nations and will gather you out of the countries wherein you are scattered with a mighty hand. In other words, a prison break. I got to break y'all out of this thing. We're going to have a prison break. I'm going to have to handle business and take out some of these folks. Outstretched arm and with fury poured out. I'm going to have to knock down some walls. I'm going to have to open the prison doors to let you out. Because you don't know you still a slave, Dio. Valley of Decision, Joel chapter 3. In those days and at that time, when I restore the fortunes of Judah and Jerusalem, I will gather all nations and bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat. There I will put them on trial. Why are they going on trial? For what they did to my inheritance, my people Israel, because they scattered my people among the nations and divided up my land. They put my people into captivity. They moved them far away from their land. They made them slaves. I got to break them out. I got to destroy the nations because they don't want to let them go. Because they know once we're let go, we're going to rule. They can't have that. There's a conspiracy. Psalms chapter 83. To move us what? Far away from our land. They're trying to take over your land now. They got sellouts on the continent now, working for the colonizers. Just as you have people today in America who's working for the colonizers. Just like I told you, ain't no white man wrote this book. Like I told you, if the white man wrote this book, why would he leave in that they're going to be destroyed? Why would he leave in that they enslave God's people and God going to get revenge on them? Come on now. No, they stole the scrolls. And my brother had proof of that in his book. They stole the scrolls. Our enemies will be our captives. Joel 3:7-8. See, I am going to rouse them out of the place to which you sold them, and I will return on your own heads what you've done. I will sell your sons and daughters to the people of Judah, and they will sell them to the Sabaeans, a nation far away. Our enemies will be removed far away from their lands now, just as we were. The curses are reversing. They don't want to hear this. They're going to be removed far away from their land. Their sons and daughters are going to be sold to us. That ain't Christian like. That ain't Christian like. That's skin doctrine. Does the Bible say it or not? Yes or no? Does the Bible say there's a second Exodus or not? Yes or no? It's the gathering. Really now. Foolishness. Dan Calloway, camps that teach Native American Indians us and Mexicans us, people that teach that we follow the Book of Mormons, the sealed portions, Tokoism, are all enemies against Yahuwah and his people. People who are targeting other people who are doing the work on the continent are enemies to the Israelite people. And sometimes we unknowingly support the wrong people. Sometimes we support our enemies. As Malcolm X said, I think it was Malcolm X, him or Ali, that because they control the media, talking about America, they will have you rooting for the oppressor and not the oppressed. Christianity will have you supporting the oppressor and not the oppressed. Lying Israelites will have you supporting the oppressor and not the oppressed. Thank you, Malcolm X. Both of them were ahead of their times, I ain't gonna lie. They used to paint them so bad, but them guys were ahead of their time. It's sort of funny how we used to attack Islam, but Christianity was false as well. Islam is false as well. All religions are false. Yahuwah is true. Yeshua is true. The word is true. But the religions are a deception. You know how long it took me to wake up from Christianity? Well, y'all know, most of y'all were in it as well. Did you know how long it took me to separate the Christian doctrine from the Bible, what it says and teach? And then once you start teaching the word of God, you a racist. Once you start teaching the word of Yah, you teaching skin doctrine. If you don't teach the founding fathers or the church fathers, you're a heretic. Teaching for doctrine the commandments of men. One thing for sure, you best start loving and treating your brothers and sisters with love and respect. Stop lying on them. Stop stealing from them. Stop telling half-truths on them. Stop robbing them. That's why we got trust issues today. But understand, we are still slaves, Neil. And some of those people who are claiming to be Israelites are house ninjas. Plotting on and scheming against the field ninjas. Is some of our people not sophisticated enough to know that they're being used? Because the people who are doing the attacking look just like us, claim to be us. As a matter of fact, they are us. They use some of us against us, which is why we can never climb. They're going to let Uncle Ruckus eat the butter biscuits so long as he betray his people. They're going to give Uncle Ruckus extra money and better housing so long as they lie on their people. Because what Uncle Ruckus don't know is that we're all not free, then none of us are free. But some people like butter biscuits. Some of us like being under master because that's all they know. Some people don't know what freedom is because that's all they know. This Gentile supports you, Tail. I'm shocked. I respect you for it. Because we are a truth ministry. This the place. If you want truth, this is where it is. But the Bible tells a story of a people whose ancestors disobeyed the Most High, And the Most High sent them into captivity worldwide for the sins of their ancestors. And they are enslaved till this day. Any other thing is gaslighting, half-truths, and lies. Yes, there's some good white folks. And some of them coming back to the land with us, but not many, in my opinion. Because they don't have an ear for the truth. They don't know the difference between the covenant people and the non-covenant people. They don't know the difference between the chosen or the saints and the non-chosen. Aliens, UFOs, orbs, radiation, food shortages, and different plagues. And you think you're going to live in this land with all that? You think you're going to live in this land, in this place under judgment? You think the Most High going to let his chosen stay in this land when he's about to destroy it? There has to be a prison break. The Most High has to come and break the chains off our necks. The Most High has to remove the chains from your mind. Because you don't know that you need deliverance. These people that lied to you and told you you're a melting pot. If you're a melting pot, then you're no longer an Israelite. If you're a melting pot, you're no longer a descendant of Jacob. If you're a melting pot, you're something unknown. If you're a melting pot, you look just like that beast in Revelation. If you're a melting pot, you look just like the beast in Daniel. Head of a lion, serpent heads, mouth of a dragon, whatever, all that stuff. You know I got it out of order, but you know what I'm saying. If you're a melting pot, you're no longer unique. That's why they want you to be a melting pot. We're going to get rid of these black folks. Margaret Sanger. We're going to phase them out and let them mix up. They're no longer going to look like us, like themselves. They're not going to look Negro. They're not going to look African anymore. They're going to start looking at something different. They're no longer going to have that hair like wool and that skin like burnt bronze. We're going to whiten them out. We're going to let them think they're free so they can intermarry and reproduce and merge and blend into the system of the dragon. What is Baphomet? Goat head, half female, half male, an abomination. Now, I'm not saying people are who, intermarry, because, I mean, like I say, we didn't know who we were. We didn't know anything. What I'm saying is that's the goal. They don't want us here no more. They don't need slaves no more. They got AI now. They got artificial humans now. You're obsolete, Israel, unless there's a second Exodus. You can imagine the final solution. They didn't plan this for hundreds of years, and now they're at the threshold 2025. Well, fam, that's all I got. If you want to support this ministry, you can by giving Cash App, $TOTW 7101. Also, you can go to our website, totwministries.com, and click on the donation tab, and you can give through PayPal. You can become a patron. You can give through Ko-fi. There's different ways to give. Like I said, this is a truth ministry. Don't come here unless you want the truth.